Hey guys, this is the Gaming Robot and I want to welcome you back once again to the Birch Forest Railway. Behind me you'll see the train of today. This is the Class 43 HST as part of Dragon Gamer's Modern British Pack. We'll look at that in a minute. We are currently on location at the under construction site for the diesel depot, yet to be named. As always, if you have any ideas or suggestions, let me know, or I'll probably just go with sand depot or something stupid like that. But no, we are here at this depot here with this Intercity 125 Class 43 to do something which I think is kind of unique, sort of. Whenever we've been driving up and down the line, we've always been going on one side of the line, particularly. So this time we'll be going on the other side of the line, if you haven't guessed by the title I may or may not have put on the video. But yeah, let's take a look at the model. I haven't been asked to review this, so this is once again just a showcase. The model, again, as with most of the locos being put out on the Immersive Railroading Discord or the Immersive Railroading mod in general, it looks true to form. It really matches its real-life counterpart. We've got some cab details there as well, and we are running this as a 5 quote-quote coach consist, so I'm assuming it will fit in all platforms on the other side of the line. But yeah, forgive me if I sound semi-tired or half asleep. I did spend 6 hours last night on a stream with a friend climbing a mountain in VR, so my arms are burning and my shoulders are numb. But you can't see that because I don't have face cam, which is probably for the best. Anywho, I think the engines should have warmed up enough. We've got our 37 over here, we've got our 66 and class 15 there. And all the coaches over there are just place markers. Actually, let's take a look while I keep dragging out time to make sure that we get in when the engines are warmed up. So, in theory, if we have the diesels set out in this formation, and they're only, what, 5-ish diesels currently available, at least to my knowledge. If we have the diesels set up like this, we can get them all in the shed, and we can also have 3 standing outside of the shed itself. But this is all, all set to, well, not set to change, but it could be changed. I am stumbling over my words. I apologize. Let us instead, as always, ramble on the move. So let's take a look at the interior. We've got our second man seat here, and we've got all of our nice controls here. I can't tell which is which. Oh, there's a visual glitch. That looks like brake, maybe? Because I've driven the Class 43 GWR Class 43 livery on Train Sim World, and there are 2 levers in the middle console, and then you've got no, so there's levers each side of you, so it's like forget it. Right, here we go. Check the horn. It's a standard default. Awesome. Wasn't expecting much, but everything's a work in progress. Anyway, here we go. Both locos working in sync. Let's check. Yep, looks like it. Awesome. So we're running this as a top and tail formation. Now, I'm not sure whether to stop in the station and then change the points so that we don't head back into the depot once we leave Dockside Terminal. It's a possibility and not one that I want to happen. Do we stop further up the line, then change the points, then head into Dockside Terminal, or I suppose it would just allow me to, ignore the points. It's a pointless situation, honestly. I try so hard just to get the points nice, and it's raining. I try so hard to get the points all well set and smoothed out, and then Minecraft physics just say, nah, that point's gonna look really, really sharp when the rails go across. Oh, I was getting worried there. Phew. Yeah, so if you'll just ignore me while I continue rambling and just enjoy the ride of the train or whatever it is we're doing, this should be relatively good for first person. I'm just watching when all of the loco or all of the train goes across the points, and then we can speed up a bit. But we are on an incline, so we might as well just start speeding up a bit now. Yep, that's cleared the section. Alright. Let's see how fast we can get up this incline. You can hear it working. I now have it so that the speaker, so my headphones aren't blaring me with engine noises and horns at 100 decibels. They're now blaring me with engine noise and horns at 50 decibels. So I am being less than half deafened, like a quarter deafened. Anywho, I am trying to see if I can be consistent with my uploads. This was just sort of like a random spur of the moment idea that I had, because we can't get into Shed Station via the main line, shall we say, because there's a consist of locos that are just sitting there for now. So I thought that if I switched the points, we've got a lake apparently, if I switch the points we could get into the other side of the platform, and then we can do it throughout all of the stuff. The line, the railway line. I'm going to be watching this back and I've just been cringing badly. I usually sound more awake. Anyway, we are arriving hot into Dockside Terminal. Very hot. Oh, this is going to be difficult. Okay, let's just lose some speed because we've got a point coming here. Coming. There we go. So we're heading into what I believe is platform 2 of Dockside Terminal. And hopefully, providing it doesn't thunderstorm and, you know, we have our usual stereotypical British weather, we should, in theory, be able to take a better look at Dockside Terminal. Because if you remember from the Battle of Britain class video through the Thunder and Rain 92 Squadron, which is still here, I need to transfer it back to the New Valley Railway. I'm not sure whether I can do it in this current situation, or maybe I'll have to wait a bit. Anywho, we're in the station. This is the station. So I did try and see if I could get away from the usual block palette of oak wood and stone. I failed. But what we have is, aside from the fact that when I want to do the line mapping, which is going to be very difficult, so I'm just going to have to casually remove the entirety of the roof, take the map, and then put that in the signal box, and then rebuild the entire roof. Oof. We have some canopy platforms here to keep our passengers nice and dry, even though this is part of the desert biome. And then over here, actually, you know, it's never mind, it stopped raining. We have some grass that's spread over a period of time. I actually just put a grass block in as a replacement because I couldn't be bothered to find where my dirt blocks were, and it was just to hand. We have some, it's very dimly lit, I will admit, so playing this in survival on like normal difficulty would spawn at least a few mobs. Battle Ring class, 92 Squadron. That was a good run. It was like one of my shorter videos because I wasn't stopping in the station all the time. We have some of the immersive railroading lanterns, which are always nice to look at. And yeah, I mean, in at least modern times, when you watch it in videos, don't mind me, I'm just going to change the points at the other end. In at least all of the modern videos, what you have is the station platforms very well lit up, and you know, you can see your hands in front of your face, which is always useful when you're walking on the station platform very close to the railway. But the lines themselves, they're only is it called floodlit? So the light spills out onto the line, but the line itself is pitch black except from the glow of the signals or a lit up speed limit sign. At least that's what I've seen from general observations, shall we say. Okay, I'm just going to do this now because I don't want to get caught out later. There we go. And I also want to check something because I'm paranoid. I'm no longer paranoid. Okay, that's good. So let's head all the way back along the line. Need to make a few bridges there. But yeah, I mean, aside from making a large pit or hole in the side of, I'm assuming it's going to be called Sand Depot because it's covered in sand. I haven't really done much up near Dockside Terminal. I've just been working on the depot. There's this terraforming here and the beginning of a bridge here, but that was all done before making the Battle of Britain class video. But yeah, not much progress. Just earmarking out some structures and buildings. I think I can fall here and just walk down onto the platform. There we go. Changing ends in a convenient way. Sun is setting. I thought it was rising. Oh well, it looks like we're doing a night service. Let's take off the brakes. Okay. Vigil glitch, it's fine. Alright, let's assume I'm the guard. This service at 11:50 in the morning is leaving, bound for Shed Station. All aboard. You have been warned. And then the usual thing, providing everything goes well and our doors are nice and closed. I don't know why I'm roleplaying. Those features and functions aren't available yet. However, the good news is, or the interesting news, shall we say? Come on, there you go. Talk. The interesting news is firebox glow and headlights on locos are planned, which could be really, really interesting for nighttime travels. I'm interested in it. I'm also interested in a particular someone's class 20, but that will all come in due time, and with most of all of these locos that I drive or models that I review, shall we say, it's all based on the creator / developers real life schedules, so their real life, whatever they're doing in their real life. I don't know why I'm talking about it like this. So essentially they're just all doing this in their spare time, and depending how much spare time they have, given the current situation, it will depend on how quickly or how much detail they're able to put into the models. For example, Dragon, Steam, A4, and I believe the Dutch of Sunderland and a few other locos, to name a few, literally, have been remastered or remodeled to look more, I suppose, semi-realistic, but you can only go so far in Minecraft. We are picking up some speed as we descend the bank. Yeah, I apologize if this is going to sound like a heavy rambling video. You got lucky in the last video and it was just minor rambling as I was panicking to not get struck by lightning or to the station roof to get set on fire. And yeah, the station is, as always, still a work in progress. We need to just boost speed a little, just so that I can make sure that the points are actually switched. The station building is a work in progress. The station canopy and roof is all done, but the sides of the station and then the station building itself are yet to be built. So I am going to be spending probably a fair amount of time at Dockside. So the rebuilding of the sheds and my house near Shed Station, quote on house, because it keeps getting rebuilt all the time, is to be done in the future. But yeah, let's see, what have I been doing over the 2 weeks that I haven't uploaded? I put out a VR chat video. I beat up a sandbag. That was fun. I lost. I may have launched the sandbag a fair distance, but I lost in terms of physical energy. I was literally on the floor breathing hard. It was worrying. My stamina was terrible. I passed 1,000 laps, earning me pro rank on Midnight Racing, though I don't have the skills to the title, and to me a title is meaningless, but I just wanted my name tag to show up in purple. Personal preference. And I did that in the dubbed RX-7FD quote Midnight, that I call it. I have also been on the Tofu Shop server, just fine-tuning the also RX-7FD Midnight, actually in Midnight, on the Toge, mainly Akina CC, which stands for Corsa Club. I got the rails right? Yeah, I got the rails right, and then we'll be heading to the right. I kept fine-tuning it on that so I can drift upwards and downwards just for a more initial D style video. I need to be careful on the brakes here. I'm not careful, but I hope that we can make it in. I did use 5 coaches just as a measuring tool, and hopefully if we assume that all the standard diesel locomotives are no longer than a coach, we should be good. I'm going to hold heavy brakes, more heavier brakes, full brakes, and we are good. Okay, let's get out of the Loco, and we have, I think, made it in. What was I talking about? I was talking about something. Yeah, so it could be a more initial D Toge style, which would just make it more interesting, and then on a business side of it, it would bring in more viewers who are interested in initial D and Toge itself. But yeah, that's basically it. I think I slept. I've been sleeping. Do we include that in the whole thing? I've been sleeping. Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. I mean, those are the only things that I've been doing. And yeah, I guess that's it. We've gained a few subscribers, gained a good amount of views on the videos. Everything seems relatively stable. And then from here on out, I suppose anything goes. Forget the conductor's whistle. Let's go. Wrong way. I knew I was going to do that. Forward ho. Wait, because the both locos are facing forward, do I only have to use the 8 key? Well, that makes things a little easier. Anywho, we are going to be climbing hard, so let's see. That looks better in terms of point radius. Yeah, I mean, I suppose it's because we're taking it less than 15 miles an hour, so there's that. But yeah, plans for the line are just to finish up Dockside Terminal Station, at least roof off the area around Dockside, on the docks itself, build a road from Dockside to unnamed depot. Oh, this is going to be a climb. Wow. Yeah, because areas like this would be really cool with lights. I am all over the place. I apologize. Make a road from Dockside, from the docks to the refueling plant, or at least to the depot, and then I can use some of the empty space as like a car park if we're playing semi-realistically. I'm not sure whether to install the immersive vehicles mod. I feel like that would cause more entity issues or more lag. Wow, what a trooper. Still building up speed even on such an incline. 17.99 miles per hour. Oh, speaking of miles per hour, sort of. I've gotten pretty adept, whatever you want to call it. I've got pretty good at converting kilometers per hour into miles per hour. I mainly just use theory to start with, but then you remember, for example, if I'm right, 60 kilometers per hour is roughly about 30 miles per hour, and then that 30 kilometers per hour is 15 miles per hour, and so on and so forth. But I was watching some of my older videos, especially the first videos on the line. I don't know why I'm letting off for this. What's the point of letting off? The first videos on the line with the ride on the Birch Forest Railway, or whatever it was called. It wasn't that long ago. It was last year. I was still in kilometers per hour, and I was doing like roughly around about 15 miles per hour average across the whole of the railway. Whereas now we are doing, getting on for about 25 miles an hour now. So there's that. Wait, does the horn have a cutoff so I can just hold it? Oh, it does. It crossfades, as someone mentioned in the comments at a later point. Anywho, we are approaching midpoint. Yay. Go that off a bit. I am planning on doing a top and tail formation, but I'm not sure whether to do it with two different livery 37s or to wait. If I want to do a double header, I'm going to wait for the class 20s because double heading class 20s is so good. I'm not sure they even have that in train sim. This is going to be rough. Go it over. There we go. Let's watch as all the coaches follow suit. Or glitch, or lag out, you know. Either one works. We are slowing down. Loco is across the points. And stop. And stop. Please. Thank you. We stopped. So yeah, double heading class 20s is so much fun, especially with the thrash and the fact that you have good view either way if you're doing it nose to nose. So essentially two class 20s makes up the same sort of body shape. I have no idea what I'm talking about, if I'm honest. Makes up the same sort of body shape as a class 58. So I am eagerly anticipating that, but I'm not going to put pressure on the modeler. So you know, take your time with it, make it work and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, if you haven't noticed already, we are at midpoint. Nothing has changed. I still have this really bare and empty interior in this place where I thought a cafe would be. That needs to go back. That needs to go back so far. And I've got this balcony where I was going to have like a large map of the railway, but I think because the railway spans around 4,000 or 40,000 blocks away from spawn, which is a shed, that's going to be a tad difficult. But aside from that, let us cross over this nice footbridge here. There we go. Diddly 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 doo. And into the seats. Do I need to do conductor? I don't know. I'm on heritage section, so I'm assuming so. All aboard! Final stop. After this one. Actually, this is the stop. The train terminates at the next station. All change after the next. Forget it. Get on board. Thank you. Diddly 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 doo. I'm actually going to start doing that now. I'm just going to use the bell as a low tone. So you have the default horn as your high tone, and then the bell as a low tone. So, for an example, it would be. I have mentioned to have high-low tones for I think most of the diesel locos in general, and because you can quill the whistle of a steam loco by looking up and down, but that sounds really, really I don't know, inconvenient, especially if viewers get motion sick from watching camera move up and down all the time, like at fast speeds. But to have a high-low tone would just give each loco more of a personality. Because the class 101 that you may have saw at the depot, losing speed, that has a really interesting horn. At least the train sim version has. The train sim world variant of it has a really nice horn that you can have high low, high low, high low, and you're just essentially pulling backwards and forwards a lever, and it's so satisfying. But unfortunately, the issue with the class 101 and probably any of its predecessors is a gearing system. And the implementation of said gearing system into train sim world is not the best. We are into a tunnel. This is Talk Tunnel. Hold on, viewers, we'll be out momentarily. The unfortunate thing with the class 101 is its gearing system and the implementation of the gearing system to keyboard controls. So A and D will control your accelerator or your throttle, call it what you will. And then in order to change gears, you have to set throttle to neutral, control A, oh, not that button, definitely not that button, that's a joke, I apologize. Control A to change up a gear, and then apply throttle again. I'm not so sure about the glass texture. We are hot, very hot. This is going to hurt. There it is. Oh, this reminds me of my early days on Train Sim World, where I just wasn't paying attention, and then you get caught out by a red signal and everything just goes wrong. And then the brakes are just, you stop in the station set perfectly after, like, you dead stop into a station perfectly on the marker, and in your head you're just imagining the steaming sound of hot brakes. I don't know what this video has been. I really need to replace that. Hang on, let me just quickly do that. It'll probably get broken the next time I bring a steam loco in, but it's in now, so that's all that matters. Anywhoosies, let's just check. I still haven't built the station building. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm going to be completely honest. I have no idea what this was for. It was supposed to be a car park, but well, it hasn't worked. So I'm probably going to have to rebuild that back up and then build a car park further down. But yeah, we have arrived. We had plenty of space to spare, which is good. I could have actually fitted a... I could have at least fitted a 7-coach on this platform. But 5-coach works pretty well. Okay, let me just gulp some air. What's up with this? Oh, that's where redstone is. Let's just block that off. There we go. Building on camera, always fun. But any whoosies, don't know why I keep saying that. I don't know what this video has been. I know that it's been a tour of the other side of the line, all of the platforms that don't get used often. And it has probably been a showcase of the Class 43 HST as part of Dragon's Modern British resource pack, which, as mentioned previously, you will find a link in the description, as well as any other rolling stock or loco seen or featured within the video and any oncoming videos. But yeah, like I said, don't know what this video has been. Hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like. If you want to see this content on a more regular basis, don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell so that you can see when I next upload. And yeah, that's all for today. I'll see you guys around.